Thanks for watching AM Northwest. Our next guest says to stop bullying, you have to help the bully, not just the victim. Here to share more, we welcome the author and advocate, Gabriella Van Ray. Good to have you with us.
Nice to be here.
Thanks for having me.
You've done a lot of research into bullying, so let's get your definition of bullying first.
Bullying for me is an extreme form of meanness, truly extreme. And it goes on a daily basis in such a way that the person who's receiving it cannot live their life normally anymore. They're kind of paralyzed with fear.
So it's beyond, it's simple, beyond simple schoolyard teasing.
Oh yeah, no. This is not teasing. This is day after day after day that you're paralyzed.
And a lot of it happens online now, doesn't it?
It's both. It's online, and I think it's online because it's kind of, we seem to express ourselves totally differently online.
Yeah.
And it happens, I've noticed from visiting schools, there where there are no cameras at school, you know, the washrooms, the nooks and crannies at school where there are no monitors. A lot.
What percentage of children are being bullied?
Amazingly enough, 85% of the hands go up.
Really?
It's enormous. Yes.
And
This
do
is
they
an
all feel
epidemic.
do they all feel paralyzed by fear, or
Not
do they...
all of them,
Okay.
but many. Many. You see it at their body language. They're biting their nails. There are children when I'm on an assembly that just literally walk out. I have counselors indoors now because the emotions come out. I bring them out by talking about it, right?
What are some of the symptoms? Parents watching right now may wonder, may not ever suspect that their kids are being bullied or are bullies.
For me, there are two. Let's start with the bully for a change.
Okay.
The symptom for the bully is the child that acts out. It's the child that goes to Walmart and has temper tantrums. That's, for me, often the symptoms of a bully. Now, the victim is often that it starts isolating. No more school, bad grades, you know, wants to pull away from everything and will become totally isolated.
Oh,
That's
interesting.
what victims do.
And you say that often victims and bullies, they mirror each other.
They mirror each other totally.
Traits.
When I say that, people always say, that's not possible, Gabriella, but it is, because we're both fearful. That's already, they have one big commonality, and is that they're fearful. Now, very different, because the bully actually feels very powerful in his or her, because, again, I'm sorry that I say his, feels very powerful at the moment that she or he is bullying, but is not at all powerful afterwards, and often doesn't have that many friends. Victim, same thing, often doesn't have many friends. They're both scared of their own shadow. Their self-esteem is very low, and I would love for them to have an intervention, because if I punish the bully and the victim is glorified, the problem isn't solved, because even the victim doesn't deal with the issues that it was dealing with to begin with. It's maybe popular now at school, and the issue, I mean, the bullying has gone away, but this victim could turn out to be a bully in the workforce later.
So how does an intervention work?
The intervention for me is so simple, but we need manpower. We need manpower in schools. We would need counselors to sit down with both, because you need an adult present, if possible a teacher too. And then I would say simply...
But not the parents.
Not the parents, not immediately. The parents come in later, because the children often won't talk. They're very humiliated about what's happening, and the counselor kind of eases them into that. They have experience too. And you'd be so surprised at the result of both the bully and the victim. When they see and they hear each other, or suddenly really hear each other, they'll never become friends. That's not what I'm saying. But there is such an understanding all of a sudden. The victim says to the bully, but you're afraid of me? What did I then do to you? Well, because you're lovely and petite, or because I want to have what you have. Or when that comes out suddenly, there's like a floodgate of things that open up, and that you go, oh my gosh, I never knew that.
You say it's important to be an active witness, and what do you mean by an active witness?
That's the first step, because I think we're all bystander.
Right.
You and I, we see it. That doesn't mean that we take action. So for example, I'll take the case of the bus monitor. An adult in a bus, the driver was just a bystander. I'm asking that driver to step up one notch and become an active witness. All he had to do was stop that bus. That's enough.
If he hears bullying.
If he hears bullying, stop that bus. He, at that moment, is active. If I see a bully or a victim, and I just stand there, I feel like I'm part of it. I condone it.
So what do you do? I mean, you stop the bus. Do you intervene? Do you tell people stop it? Do you get in the middle?
I think a lot of people don't dare to intervene, and I do understand that, and especially younger people don't dare to do that. But I always say, go to someone. The friends of the children that commit suicide, you know, that they know. And the terrible part is they don't tell anyone. So if we adults don't know that the child is actually already contemplating suicide, we can't save that child.
In the intervention, you say you often start with one question that really brings up the raw emotion. That is, what makes you sad?
Yeah.
Is that really, that opens the floodgate?
Enormously. People expect you to be mean to them back. So the first thing the bully expects, the bully already has this. Come on, if I know that I did something and you're gonna come at me, come on, I will have all my defenses up. But if I say to you, now why are you so sad? Why are you so unhappy? There's just like a total turning point. And you're like, how does he know?
You touched a nerve.
You touch the nerves. And if you touch that nerve in the bully, that bully becomes very human. And there are a lot of things, and I don't want to say that every family is dysfunctional, because that's not true either. But there are things happening within the home sometimes that make this person really sad. And how can a parent help if a parent doesn't know?
Yeah.
Gabriella,
well, it's all good tips. We'll have more on our
much.
website at KATU.com.
Thank you very much for having me.
Coming up next on AM Northwest, from hanging pictures where you want them to